Are you an SEO or a blogger that wants to make sure your new article will rank? One of the most important things that you need to do is create an outline. In this video, I will teach you how to write a blog post outline that will work for any site or any niche. So let's get started. Okay, so first I want to talk about why do we need an outline in the first place? There's tons of reasons why, but personally for me, working with different clients as an entrepreneur, the reasons why I make an outline is to first understand the scope of the article, whether or not you think it will be viable to rank on the first page. Because depending on the topic that you want to write about, sometimes it might not be the best topic to write because there are just way too many high-profile websites already ranking on the first page. The second thing that you might want to create an outline for is if you use copywriters. I personally use copywriters. Sometimes I write them myself, but if you have a copywriter, you can give them an outline that they can follow. That way, they don't need to do all of the work on their end. You're helping them out with the research, with the overarching topics you want to talk about, and just gives them a lot more structure and guidance. The other thing that you want to, the reason why is to create headings, right? Headings like the H1s, H2s, and also H3s. So an outline will consist of different headings that you will be writing about. And this will really help you understand what kind of keywords you will be adding, what topics you will be talking about, and things like that. Also, another reason why you might want to create an outline is to really understand other types of questions people might be asking online. So what other content improvements that you can add to your article that will shine and outrank the competitors. So other content improvements, I like to call them content improvements, like questions, people also ask box, and I'll go over all of this in a little bit, quora questions and things like that. Other content upgrades that you can add that will tell Google that this is the article that should be ranking on the first page. All right, so what kind of tools do we need? So we just need a couple of free tools. So to do a blog post outline, I use Detailed. This is a Chrome plugin that will find the title tag, the meta description, the headings of all pages on the site. So we will need that. And we will also need the surfer, the keyword surfer. This is also another Chrome extension that will give you a lot of insights into who your competitors are and what kind of keywords you're using, the length, and things like that. All right, so you just need these two tools. So let's start off. So let's go through how I would create an outline. So let's just say we are, creating a blog article about, essential oils for gardening, right? It's the springtime and a lot of people might want to go out and garden and they want to see what kind of essential oils are best for gardening. So first thing you want to do is make sure you install the Keyword Surfer Chrome plugin. This will give you a lot of keyword ideas that are associated with your main keyword. It'll also give you correlation charts. Okay, so first thing you want to do is just get an overview of all of your competition that's ranking on the first page of Google. So under correlation charts, you see the traffic. So this is the average estimated traffic that these sites have on average. So you could see these pages, these sites have quite a bit of traffic. You can also see how many words they use. So on average, the first page gets, 1,700 words and it goes down thereafter, right? So you need at least an article that's over 1,000 words. And also, how many times does these pages mention the keyword essential oils for gardening? So you see the first 2 pages have it 5 times. The third page doesn't even mention it. The fourth page mentions it 1 time. So I would say you should be mentioning it, right? Not more than 5 times. Okay, so what you also want to do is just look at all of your competitors and open up all of your competitors' pages and just see which ones you kind of want to really consider are your main competitors. Because sometimes, depending on the domain, depending on the website, they may not be a good competitor. Like, for example, if you have a Wikipedia page that's ranking, that's probably not a good competitor. If you have Amazon, that's not a good competitor. Or if you have a really big brand like Coca-Cola, they are gonna rank no matter what. So it doesn't make sense taking a look at those pages. You also want to see what kind of content these competitors have. Are they informational? Are they transactional? Are they landing pages? You want to get a feel for what kind of content you should be writing about, right? So I opened up all of these competitors, and right now I'm just going to browse and just kind of see the content, right? So it looks like it's a more of an informational page. They're listing out all the different essential oils. They have a chart. Let's look at the second competitor. Very similar, very informational. They have an image here, 9 essential oils for gardening, and they list out all of the different essential oils with images. Third one, very, very similar as well. Fourth one, image, a lot of content. There's tips and tricks. This one is much, much shorter. But this one is Eden's Garden. So this is a brand. So they have pretty good high domain authority. And so I don't think this would be a good competitor for us. So I'm just going to exit out of that. Now this one, the Farmer's Garden. So this one is very similar, right? Regarding the other two. This one has an image. Very similar as well. This one is Rocky Mountain Oils. Very similar, but this one is a brand, so I'm going to exit out of that. This one also is very, very similar, but honestly, I don't see too much content here. There isn't much inspiration I could get from this, so I'm going to exit that. Natural Living Ideas. I've seen this one before. This one is a pretty popular page. And their content is pretty heavy, so I'm going to keep that. And lastly, this one, they don't have any headings. They have video, which is good, but I'm just going to exit this because this one doesn't look that eye-catching. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 competitors that I am going to really dissect. Okay, so how do I dissect these competitors? I use a spreadsheet. So what I first do is just put down the URLs for all of the competitors that I will be dissecting. So I'm going to put all of this here. And I will include a link to this spreadsheet so you have access to this as well. And this one. Okay, so I put all of the competitors here, and now I will be adding all of this information, okay? So I will be adding the title tag, meta description, how many words, how many images, how many video, and the H1s and the H2s. So this will give me a nice overview of the outlines for our competitors. And what we will do is analyze this information to build out our own outline, okay? So let's go to happymothering.com. So let's find the title tag. So I use the detailed Chrome plugin. So all we are going to do is just basically copy and paste the title tag. And then we are going to copy and paste the meta description. How many words? So remember, the Keyword Surfer plugin will give us the words. So, wow, there's 13, actually no, 1,724 words. So I'm going to put that there. Images, let's count the images. There's one. And yeah, there's one. There's other images here, but they're not part of the actual blog article. So I am going to put one. Video, there is no video. H1, so let's get the H1. So you click on headings, and there is one H1, so I'm going to copy and paste that. And I'm also going to copy and paste all of the H2s. Go to headings, H2s. H2, H2, paste that, go back. Okay, that's it. The other H2s are not part of the main article, but let's take a look at this. They have, under the H2s, they also have H3s. So essential oils and benefits for plants in your garden. So they list out 6 essential oils. On the next section, there's essential oil recipes for your garden. So they offer 4 recipes. And then they also list the best essential oils to use for pest repellents. So that's a really good insight. So pest repellents, and then they have popular homemaking tips and tutorials. How do we grow? Actually, this one. Okay, yep. So this is the chart here. Okay. All right. So now we are going to do well, let's see, go back to the chart. Okay, great. So we have all of this. Just let me fill this in. So we have the first competitor. Now what we are going to do is fill out the chart for the rest. All right. So let's start. Now I'm going to speed up this and not to bore you guys out. I'm going to fast forward and I'll meet you on the other side. All right, so welcome back. Now, as you might have saw, I deleted one column because I noticed that that particular page didn't have a lot of content, but it was ranking on the first page. But I noticed that that domain was really, really old, and it was probably ranking because of the domain authority. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 competitors that I will analyze and build my own outline, right? So you have the title tag. So essential oils for gardening must be added to the title tag because all of them mention it. So you need to make sure you are mentioning it and have that once you build out the title tag, right? So now you have the meta descriptions, words, images, and things like that. So you kind of have an idea of what kind of headings to create for your page, right? Now the next thing is to broaden your outline with additional info people would like to see. Okay, so how do we broaden this? What can we do to add additional features to the page that we might need to add, right? So one thing that you can do is look at the people also ask box. So you could see what are people asking that you can answer. So what essential oils are good for gardening, how to use them, can they be used on plants, slugs, right? So you can mention all of these information and it'll improve your content, right? And another thing that you can also do is actually go up here under keyword ideas. You see other keywords that are related to your main word. So essential oils garden, and you also see the similarity. So you want to make sure that you clipboard this and add them to your page, right? So this is a really good tool that will make sure you have all of the keywords in place. So this is the manual way, right? So if you want to speed things up, you can use Surfer, right? So you could use Surfer. They have their content editor, and you can enter one or more keywords on here, and you could create an outline literally in a matter of seconds. So you put the keyword and then it'll create it. So I created this earlier. So essential oils for gardening. Okay, so this is how it looks like. And you can click on this customize gear icon. And here is where you can choose your competitors. So we did the Happy Mother, the Free Ranger Life, right? So Happy Mother, Free Ranger, recipes, artsy fartsy, recipes, artsy fartsy. And then we also added natural living ideas. So natural living ideas. Is it this one? Let's see, 9 clever ways to use essential oils. Yep. So I'm going to turn that on, turn that off. All right, so we have 5 here. And another thing that you can see here is the content score. So this is essentially, it's a number between 1 and 100 that grades content quality and relevancy. So the higher it is, the more optimized their on-page content is. And the authority is a number between 1 and 10 that reflects how strong is the backlink profile for this domain, right? So you want to make sure you are choosing and looking at domains that have a lower authority and a high content score. So you can kind of mimic them. And you also have the words, right? Okay, so this one is pretty interesting. The artsyfartsylife.com. Their content score is really good, but their domain is 1. So what does that tell you? That tells you that if you are a new website and if you have good content, you have the opportunity to rank on the first page. Okay, so now the content structure. So immediately it tells you you need to make at least 1,300 words. You need to have 18 headings, 46 paragraphs, and 4 images. All right. So if you look at our manual method, it kind of makes sense, right? So you have, 1,300, which kind of reflects that you need 4 images, right? And that makes sense. You might need 4 images. Headings, there's a lot of ones that have a lot of headings, paragraphs as well, and then terms to use. So Surfer extracts prominent words and phrases for your main query. You can add or remove them from the list, right? So these are all of the terms that you need to make sure you are adding, right? And you can also see the specific natural language processing terms that you should be adding, right? And topics and questions. So this is where you can pull topics from the people also ask box, right? So, what essential oils deter slugs? If you go back to Google, what essential oils deter slugs? What essential oils are good for gardening? What essential oils are good for gardening? So it has people also asked and also other topics as well. Okay. Another way you could also find other topics and questions is go to also ask.com. This is a really, really great tool that will give you other questions people are asking. So you can go here, put your phrase in there, and it will give you all of the questions that are related to essential oils for gardening. So just give this let it load up. Another tool you could also use is Answer the Public. That one is an amazing tool, but I personally like alsoask.com just because of how easy it is. It just filters everything down, and the graphs that it uses are really top notch and helps you understand how to kind of categorize and just build out the overall layout of your page, right? So that's really the benefit of Also Asked. So let's have this load up. Okay, so as you could see here, the head term is essential oils for gardening, and you could see how it all relates to different questions. So what essential oils are good for gardening? How do I use them in your garden? Can I use them on your plants? Deter slugs. So clearly slugs is a huge topic that you need to be talking about, right? And you could go a little bit deeper into the whole slug topic. And you can also go really deep and list out the different essential oils that you can use and which ones are safe for plants, which ones kill spider mites, and so on and so forth. So you can find a lot of great questions that people are asking that you can answer on your blog article, right? And once you have everything done here, you just click on Let's Go, and you can basically start writing, okay? And then you can add any keyword here. Well, you can type out any word. So if you type out essential oils, it'll record, right? And you need to mention essential oils at least 15 times. And it tells you how many times you should be using each keyword. And it tells you how many words, headings, paragraphs, images, and topics, right? So these are the topics you should be writing about and things like that. All right, so hopefully you thought this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you want the link to the spreadsheet that I was filling out, just click the link in the description to get that spreadsheet. And with that said, I will see you on the next video.